We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Today on CityCast Portland, it's all of our top picks for the month of June in food, entertainment, and everything in between. Joining me on the show are our very own producers, John Notarianni and Julia Fiaioni. It's Thursday, May 30th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Happy June, everyone. Welcome to the show. Julia, John, always a pleasure.
Hey, happy June.
Happy June.
Our monthly guides, if you're new around here, are something we started doing to feel a bit more connected to our city. And it's so easy to get stuck in a routine and forget about all the cool things happening around you. So hopefully after you listen to today's show, you'll walk away with some new ideas for how to have the best June possible. That's my guarantee. Okay, guys, before we jump in, I have a bit of an essay question. June 20th is the official first day of summer. And I was curious what your favorite part of Portland summers were. I'm going to go first so you can't take my answer.
Oh, no.
Long sunny days.
Damn it. That is the only right answer.
What about you, John?
River trips. River trips. I love going to the river.
Okay, what about you, Julia?
Oh my God. All I can think about is the sun being out. Well, the reason why I love the sun being out so late is because I just spend all day at the park. So jumping around from different parks in the city is definitely one of my favorite things.
Oh my God, I missed those days where I was 20 and I could just hang out at the park all day.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
All right, well, let's jump into things. Big ticket item. What event are you excited about this month? Like the most excited?
Yeah, I can jump in here. I am so excited for Kickstand Comedy in the Park to start up again on June 7th, and it goes through September. And for those of you who don't know, Kickstand Comedy is a local comedy spot in town, and they put on these free shows, these free stand-up sets at Laurelhurst Park through the summer every Friday at 6:30. And this year, the show is being hosted by someone we've actually had on CityCast before, Julia Corral. She was on one of our Friday roundups before, which is so cool. She's hilarious, which makes me even more excited about it.
It's the most I've ever seen John laugh. I've never made him laugh that much. John was like in stitches.
Yeah. So people typically show up around 6 o'clock to lay their blankets down. It's just this massive hill that everybody gathers on. People bring snacks and drinks and just hang out for a couple hours. It's just such a blast. I'm assuming both of you have been before.
I have.
I have not been, but it's been one of those like on my bucket list items to like, yeah, just be outside and be in the park. And it's such a beautiful place to be, whether there's comedy going on or not.
Yeah.
Usually people's bucket list items are like to go to Italy. You know what I mean? And yours is like to go to Laurelhurst Park one day in the summer.
You got to have realistic expectations around it.
John, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to the Tomorrow Theater, which I still haven't been to. So, the Portland Art Museum started this new space towards the end of last year, sort of a part of their new film and new media initiative. It's on Southeast Division Street. And they've been programming a lot of really cool stuff, actually, over the last several months. I think if you're a reader of Hey Portland, our newsletter, you've surely seen a bunch of the events coming through. If you're not a Hey Portland newsletter reader, get it together. We put it out every day. Rachel Monahan just knows what's going on in the city, and it's like a really great resource.
Plug.
Get it together.
But they've got this new thing that they're doing called Self-Care Sundays.
What?
Yeah. So, okay, love working, love producing podcasts with y'all, but I think we all get the Sunday scaries sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just sort of like, we just had our weekend. We were out in the park.
We had one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But they're doing this new program where periodically they're offering a self-care moment prior to the film on Sundays. So they'll do a quick sound bath or chair yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, just to sort of ease you back into the week. And the one that I'm really excited about coming up at the end of the month on June 30th, they're going to be showing Sasquatch Sunset. Have you guys seen the trailer for this? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
So it is a new movie. It's a Sasquatch movie starring Riley Keough and Jesse Eisenberg in like full like head to toe Sasquatch costumes. And they like go on an adventure. I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be really good. I've heard a lot of buzz about it. And it's like an R-rated Sasquatch movie. Apparently there's like a Sasquatch sex scene that has been getting a lot of like, yeah, it's like real deal.
John, is that why you're going? You're just like, look, I've heard so much about this Sasquatch sex
I'm
scene.
going because it's a heartwarming tale of a Sasquatch
That was
adventure.
a hard pivot.
And and it's self-care. So, okay. Not going for the Sasquatch sex scene, Claudia.
It just sounds like you're protesting a bit. You brought it up and now you're just like, why does everyone keep bringing up the Sasquatch sex scene?
Well, the Tomorrow Theater did used to be like an X-rated movie theater. So, on brand as well. But yeah, it's something I've been wanting to see just because it is like, who doesn't want like a new crazy weird Sasquatch movie?
Yeah.
I think I've heard rumblings about this movie, but yeah, the poster looks amazing. All right. Well, this month for my birthday, my partner and I are doing something we've been wanting to do for a long time. We're renting a comfortable hybrid and we're driving all the way down to see the natural bridges in Brookings. So we're going to do like an Oregon coast road trip. I don't know if I've told you this, you guys, but it's been like on my bucket list to explore Southern Oregon. We got a peek of it when we went to Crater Lake like a handful of years ago. And we're just like, oh my God, this coastline's amazing.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to get back ever since. And we haven't figured out like an exact route, but I've reached out to Norther, who is our resident, outdoor expert. And this is her business. Like she does itineraries for adventures, so you don't have to think about it. And I was just like, wait, why don't it's my birthday. I don't want to do this. I don't have to think about it. So I was like, can I hire you to, figure out like where we're going to go, when we're going to stay, and like some fun hiking trips? Because there's some forest around there. And she's just like, let's go. So I'm sure there's others out there that have had the same like, maybe someday, like John wanting to go Laurelhurst Park.
Claudia's like, I'm going to explore the entire region. I'm like, I want to go to the park.
Summer is like the most beautiful part of the year. Like freaking explore Oregon, explore the forests and the caves and the desert and all that. But I feel like I just wrote an ad for Norther, but you should definitely, because I feel it's intimidating.
And for the Southern Oregon coast.
Yeah, well, she's a lifelong Oregonian. I feel like that already is just like, pay her. Like,
yeah. My one tip, you don't have to pay me for this one, Claudia, but my one tip, Cape Arago State Park, it's sort of like just past Coos Bay.
Okay.
And there's this place called Simpson Reef that is always just like covered with sea lions. Oh. Like you can't imagine like how many sea lions there are and how loud it is.
Is it louder than Astoria?
Yeah, much louder than Astoria. Mm-hmm. There's like hundreds of them. It's crazy.
Are you planning on going to Secret Beach near Brookings? Do you know about that spot?
Yeah, there's so many secret beaches, Julia.
I know, but the secret beach.
Oh, there's the secret beach.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm already helping. I mean, should I just get my money back from Norther? like 2 places.
We're stepping in on Norther's territory.
Yeah, I'll write it down. Secret Beach. I know the secret beach like in Northern California. I've not heard of the secret beach by Brookings. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, more of our top picks for the month of June.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become? Senwa Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
All right, guys, what are you most looking forward to this month in the food category, eating or drinking?
I am so excited to check out this food cart I just heard of from a friend called Dawnbringer. It's on the corner of North Fremont and North Vancouver Avenue, and it's like bright blue and orange. It's a breakfast spot, which I think is fun for a food cart. You don't see that a ton. And they specialize in breakfast sandwiches, but it's not just like your classic bacon and egg. They have sandwiches that have like tinned fish and miso in it and corned beef hash and maple ketchup. So there's like so many different types of super imaginative flavor combinations. But I think it's kind of funny because the vibe of the cart kind of reminds me of like San Diego, SoCal. Like I can just see it parked outside of one of the colleges out there with a bunch of students just like hanging out around it. So it feels like, in a funny way, a little out of place for what I typically expect for a Portland food cart, but it's super enticing. And I would love to just like wake up early one of these June weekends and go and grab a sandwich because their hours are like 9 to 2 p.m. and just hang out and like sit in the sun. Have you guys gone before?
I haven't, but now I am very intrigued.
I have, but they were closed because it was like 4 or 5. But I've been to that pod. The vibe, as Julia put it, I mean, it's dead on. Like it looks like it belongs like in a little ocean side town.
Yeah.
But yeah, those sandwiches, I'll be honest, sound more like a dare than they sound like a delicious sandwich for me. But you know, I'm sure they're awesome. I'm looking tin fish, egg, kale, avocado, miso, scallions, and cream cheese all at the same time, John.
Oh my gosh, I will take that dare. I will take that dare right now. Please, Julia,
Yes.
dare me to eat that sandwich.
Oh my God.
My friends and I say something called like, you're either a tin fish girly or not. John, are you a tin fish girly?
Oh, I am
it sounds
such
like you
a
are.
tin fish girly.
You guys,
I made a meal the other day with
my
anchovies, and I was just like eating the leftovers out of the tin. Not even like fancy tin fish.
Yes.
Just like $2 anchovy tin fish. Gimme.
See, right answer.
it's so funny. I'm like, you guys, I like tin fish too. I do love tin fish too, but not with eggs and kale and miso and avocado and scallions and cream cheese. I actually just hate cream cheese as well.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Hey, Julia, do you want to go to this delicious restaurant and invite Claudia?
Let's just go right now.
You're like, and then afterwards, you want to hang out in the park? You know, and it's like, you guys, I want to do all those things. Except
Claudia's off on the coast. I don't even know what she's doing.
just hanging out with some sea lions.
Hey, that sounds pretty awesome.
Well, what about you, John? What are you looking forward most to eat this month?
Eat and drink.
Okay.
Summer, you know, I feel like tequila's been really sort of in fashion in the last couple years. Nuh-uh. Summer is rum time, I think. Get yourself a daiquiri, get yourself a pina colada, go to Palomar, Cuban-themed cocktail bar opened by Ricky Gomez a few years ago, sort of like award-winning star Portland bartender. And they've been doing this pop-up on the weekends. They started last year called Tocayo, which, Claudia, I'm totally stealing from an interview we did last year with Michael Russell at the Oregonian.
Oh, I
where
remember
we talked
Tocayo.
about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so he recommended it. It sounded great. I went last summer. It was amazing. So it's him, Ricky Gomez, and his chef, Ricky Bella, sort of like blending their like Cuban and Mexican sort of cooking backgrounds. And in that interview, Claudia, you revealed what Tocayo means. You want to bring it back?
Yeah, it means we have the same name.
And they do. So yeah, Ricky and
The
Ricky.
Rickies.
The Rickies. So it's a pop-up, but the thing is, it's on the roof of Palomar, right? It is on like 9th and Southeast Division. So you've got like an amazing view of the river and the waterfront. And it was just so much fun when I went last year. They had like all these like sort of agua frescas that they were doing, and they served them in like plastic color changing cups that you could take with you.
Ooh, cute.
It was super fun. They said that they're going to do the same thing again this year. Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 4 p.m. until last call. I just like think this is going to be the spot to like spend a weekend evening as the weather starts to get warm. And they said, I reached out to Ricky and it was just like, yo, what are you doing this year? And he says that later on this summer, they're going to start doing DJs and live music on Sundays as well.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I can tell how old I am because I'm like, that sounds awful. I'm not going to go there.
This is why
Oh my
you're not
God, is
getting
this-
invited to the park, Claudia.
Don't worry, Claudia. They open at 4 o'clock, so you can sneak in and get your little bevy before.
It's very clear to me.
I'm sorry. What's in the sandwich? There's going to be loud music. I'm trying to eat a taco over here.
Cream cheese.
My sciatica. Okay, that sounds amazing. I actually didn't get to make it last year, and I wanted to, but this is a good reminder. But actually, I'm going to be stealing a little bit of Michael Russell from you because this summer,
Michael Russell's for all of us. He's not my Michael Russell.
He's my Michael Russell.
Oh my God, Julia. You know, if Michael's listening, he's like, I'm all your Michael Russells. Yeah, well, this June, a new pop-up is starting at Houston Blacklight, which is a Southeast bar with one of the better patios in Portland. It's Mariscos con Onda, which is a Mexican seafood pop-up, and the owners say they're going to be changing their drink menu to better fit the incoming menu, which I'm also really excited about because they're going to be experimenting with chamoy and mangonada-inspired slushies. If you're like a little Mexican kid that grew up anywhere with Mexican culture, that was like the summer drink, were mangonadas. But check this out. Mariscos con Onda is also specializing in Ensenada-style mariscos, and my mom is from Ensenada, so this is what I specifically grew up on. Like, no joke, we would always have some kind of like marinating raw fish in the fridge, which I remember hating, like having to open the fridge. Just imagining, like, you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as a kid. You open the fridge and it's just like raw fish, like, you know, every time you open the door. Anyhow, but now I miss my mom's homemade ceviches so much, and that chef, Adan Fausto, who is also from Southern California, has been making like specific research trips down to Baja to get it right. And I'm just like, bring it to me, you know? But I can only imagine if his background is at all like mine. He had to go to Ensenada every summer. Like, that is where you go to vacation as a Mexican kid. Like, that's it. Like, that's where they took you. Like, you stay with some like distant Ann name like Cuca or Coca or Coco, and you just eat tacos the whole summer and hang out at the beach with your parents. It was so boring.
Now it's like your dream vacation.
Oh my God, no. I would give
that sounds dreamy.
anything to vacation in Ensenada every summer.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I made myself so depressed.
I actually went to Houston Blacklight last week, and I know you said they're going to be changing up the menu, but they had like the slushies going, but then you could get like a slushy float in a beer. So I got like a really fruity IPA, like a hazy IPA with like a slushy float in it. Oh, it was so good.
That sounds really good. Maybe they'll do something like that, but like with Mexican beer or something.
I also had the best Jell-O shot of my life.
They always have the best.
You've talked about those Jell-O shots.
Yeah, my friend works there, so I go there and get free ones all the time.
Oh, Julia.
Just had to one-up me, didn't you,
I'm
Julia?
sorry. That's why I was keeping my mouth shut.
Did you enjoy your Jell-O shot? How much did you pay for it?
Well,
Let me tell you about how much better a free.
now that I know they're free for the cool kids.
Yeah. A free Jell-O shot. That tastes so much better.
It does, I must tell you.
Anyhow, I'm really excited about this. Check it out. I'll probably be the one crying on a tostada.
Oh my gosh.
Having all these, having like a ratatouille moment with a tostada. All right, well, let's move on. I want to know what the hack of the month is for June.
Okay, so this month, my goal is to explore a new neighborhood. I'm feeling inspired by our neighborhood guide episodes. For the listeners who haven't heard yet, we've been doing these neighborhood guides of different places around town. We have friends and contributors who are experts in those neighborhoods because they live there, and they have all these great tips on where to go and where to hang out with the locals. And honestly, we're starting to get into heated debates on which neighborhood is the best neighborhood in Portland. So you got to check them out. We've done Montevilla and Old Town so far. But I was thinking which neighborhood I could check out myself this month. And recently, just this past weekend, I stopped through the Brooklyn neighborhood, which I didn't really know of before going there. I was there for a fundraiser at this thrift store that does psychedelic research called Sanctum Thrift. And to kind of give the boundaries of it, it starts where Aladdin Theater is in Powell and goes down to about Selwood. But I was looking into if other people have done any guides on it already, and I found that Brian Vance, our director of digital strategy, has already put together a guide. So if you look it up, it's there. So I'm just going to take that guide and go and check out all these spots. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I used to live in the Brooklyn neighborhood for, like almost half a year or whatever. There used to be like a skate spot. It was like also just like kind of created without asking the city. And I guess there's a way to pour concrete that is good for skating, and then there's a way that there's something wrong with the way you poured it, and this happened.
And they did it the wrong way.
They did it the wrong way, and it was too slippery, and people couldn't skate. And it was just so funny because I'd have like a window view for it, and just see people just slip all the time.
My gosh.
I didn't know, and eventually it closed out. But I just thought that was funny. I was like, "Oh, Portland."
Oh,
Yeah.
poor skaters.
What about you, John? What is your hack of the month?
My hack, counterintuitive one, it is time to think about scheduling fall tattoos. And here's what I'm thinking. Tattoos are a year-round affair, but you don't want to get one at this time of year because you can't go swimming if you have a fresh tattoo, right? So what you should do, though, so many places have these crazy long wait lists, you know? Like a lot of artists, especially like the really popular artists, you have to wait a bunch of months to get on their wait list, to get a booking, to like actually get the piece you want. So right now, start thinking about what you might want in the fall and planning for it and book it now. So then once it does get cold out again and you're just going to be inside all day and it's raining anyways, you can get that new tattoo and you're not going to have to worry about trying to balance that with like all your summer plans.
That's smart.
I've never thought. I wish we could have shown your face. It was the most like, like you were so pleased with yourself. It was beautiful.
I remember someone telling me one time about getting a fresh tattoo and then immediately going on like a hot springs trip and like having to like triple wrap it in like plastic wrap and like all this stuff and just praying that it didn't like get screwed up or get infected. Don't do that. Don't put yourself through that.
Especially
you
going
won't like
to a
it.
hot springs. Oh my god.
You just look so dumb too. You're like, sorry guys, I can't go. My arm has to be above the water.
Oh, I've seen
Sorry."
that too.
Like, just go home.
Yeah, just go. That's so mean. Go home, Brenda. Well, here's a way that you can get a tattoo and still enjoy the water, which is my hack, is learn to sail. Learn to kayak, get in a rowboat, whatever, just get in the water. And as you guys know, I started sailing lessons like last year, and it's been like one of the best things I've done for myself. I'm now able to like confidently operate a motorboat. So whenever I go on vacation, I'm just like, who wants, you know what I mean? Like I can be that guy.
Yeah.
Not so much a sailboat yet. That's a bit more complicated and labor intensive. Like it's like the difference between driving manual and like going stick, except the stick is like all handled by 3 people and you have to like look for the wind and when
Except
it's
you
coming.
have to change the belts yourself.
It's just like, that's what sailing's like. Anyhow, also, if you're like lady identifying and feel a little intimidated on how to start because like the thought of like getting on a boat or on a kayak or whatever, it's a lot. There are actually like women only associations for these things. Immediately, the Oregon Women's Sailing Association or AUSA, they offer some really, really inexpensive lessons and have meetups. You could also just pay for a membership and go on sailing trips this summer with them. And honestly, that's how I got the courage to actually do it for myself, and because it can be intimidating. And I've also taken lessons at Portland Sailing Center on Marine Drive, and that's co-ed, and they have excellent instructors and max time actually on the boat. Because if you do get sailing lessons, sometimes it's a lot of like book learning, and you're like, why? You know, get me on that boat.
Yeah. And I think even if you have been on a motorboat, like being on a sailboat is such a different feel. And like, you don't have this like buzzy motor pushing you. You have like the wind pulling you along and it just like feels amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, Julia.
That just sounds really nice.
Well, this is the part when we think of all the things we listed and we vote for our favorite. And we think about like what the thing is that we're going to do all together. And it's so funny because last month it was to go to the St. John's Bazaar, and we did do it.
And we all went.
But we couldn't find each other because we don't understand how phones work. So we have to actually coordinate this time.
I even warned my friend I was with. I was like, we're definitely going to run into my coworkers.
You warned them.
He was like, okay.
You should have prepped them.
Beware.
I know what the hell.
Like, just so you know.
See
my
someone
God.
scowling in a CityCast hoodie. Steer
gonna be-
clear.
Oh my God. Whatever. Okay. So out of all the things that we listed, so we have Kickstand Comedy in the Park, Self-Care Sundays, and Sasquatch Sunset, an Oregon Coast road trip with me, I guess, going to eat at Dawnbringer to Cayo, Morisco Sconona, the pop-up, or exploring a new neighborhood, scheduling a fall tattoo, or learning how to sail, rowboat, kayak, whatever, just get on the water.
Wow.
I know. It's a lot, right?
It's a lot. I think I want to formally invite both of you to the park for some comedy because I think that's the obvious answer.
Is it really the obvious answer?
I think so. Let's get out early on a Friday and go.
Dude, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm down.
You're like, that's it.
As much as I would love to like elbow into your romantic getaway with your partner, Claudia. No, you actually got me on Mariscos con Onda,
Oh, you're going to see me.
and I'll see you.
Yeah, just don't say hi to me because, like Julia, I don't like to be bothered when I'm out and about with my own friends. Okay, so kickstand comedy in the park, Mariscos con Onda. I feel like, I mean, I'm definitely going to Mariscos con Onda, but I really want to do kickstand comedy in the park. Can we just choose
Yes.
2 this time? Would you come to kickstand with us?
And then go.
Yeah, let's do. I mean, I think that's a double. I think that's a double header.
We're
We can do
almost in
both.
Southeast at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Let's
are
do
in
both.
Southeast. Go to comedy in the park, go to Mariscos con Onda.
That sounds amazing. I'm into
Okay,
it.
that's what we're doing.
Done deal.
Perfect Friday.
A perfect Jew. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.